Rightio. So, we're still waiting for material to turn up to make bits for that thing. The lathe I've reburied, but you know, it's sort of running true now, so when the stuff turns up we can actually use it and make something. Yet to sort out the metal shaper, but not to worry. So yeah, since we're waiting, the Norton has been kind enough to provide us with some content. Nothing major, it's just a bit... Yeah, that fell off the other day. Yeah, just riding along merrily, went over a bump and I heard a clatter and I kind of thought, what the heck's that? So, you know, quick look round while I'm riding. Think, no, can't see anything. Next bump, there was another clatter and I thought, oh, my hand on my tank, and thought, well, no, that's not come loose. The temporary but seeming long-term cable ties are still holding out. And the next bumpy bit of road, it clattered again. And I thought, oh, it must just be me tools, because, you know, it's an old British bike, you carry plenty of tools with you. So I wonder if they've just come out the little roll that they're in and rattling around. And I thought, I can't see anything falling off, it's riding fine, so carried on. Yeah, when I got to where I was going, yeah, that was no longer in situ. So I suppose we'll best see about whipping the front end out. It sits on its back wheel nicely, so yeah, we don't have to worry about jacking anything. Yeah, we'll see about dropping the front end out and sorting that problem. Yeah, and yeah, well, it's probably a good idea anyway, because you know we've got new fork stanchions in there here, but these are incredibly mucky underneath these guards. This one's not too bad now because you know it's been visible, so I've wiped it. But yeah, the amount of muck that's gathering under there, it's probably worth taking the front end out just to clean that one. And she's absolutely filthy again at the minute, because although it's not rained much this last month in this county, every time it has rained I have been riding the Norton, so yeah, it's either been raining where I am or raining where I'm about to be, so it's rather mucky. Anyway, let's see about getting the front end out of this thing. Of course, headlight bowl off first, then fork caps and wheel and blah blah blah. You know the routine. Anyway, right, I'll get it apart and we'll see what's gone on, see if it's just things that have come loose or things that are broken off. Onward. Okay, well that's most of it undone. Mudguards out, wheels obviously out. Had a quick check, the brake shoes are quite good at the minute still, which is nice. Hate taking that mudguard off because it's just not right. I think that little horseshoe bracket there is wrong for this bike, and the mudguard itself's twisted to hell, and yeah, I just don't like doing it because it never quite goes back on as badly as it did before. Anyway, we're about ready to drop the forks out. Top caps are undone, pinch bolts are undone. All I've got to do is take the caps off the damping rods and it should all fall out. So yeah, I'll get on with that and we'll see what kind of state these are in. Right, yeah, onward. Okay, well the forks are out. Slightly more disastrous than I intended. The one that we didn't have a problem with, I knew I should have just left it alone, but not to worry, I have actually wiped most of the muck off it now. But I may have just pulled slightly too hard on the fork bottom. Not just on that taper at the top, and with the rubbers they get a bit stuck, you know, and just tap them down gently, but at the same time as tapping them. Normally got one hand on the fork bottom, and pull the bush off the bottom of the stanchion. Hopefully it hasn't destroyed the seal, but I'm sure I'll find out soon, won't I? That really shouldn't have done that. I wasn't putting enough effort in to make that happen, so well, you know, another job on the list, eh? We don't want things like that happening while we're riding, do we? I said it is concerning because there wasn't much effort put into that at all. Anyway, this side, that was the problem. We've got the little collar in there. I'm hoping, I've not tried yet, I'm hoping it's loose enough to... No, it's not loose enough to pull out with a magnet. Now that's got itself jammed in there, so I might have to take the seal retainer out. Let's have a quick broggle at it first. There'll be something around here to broggle at it with. One of the drawers. Those broggly things, there we go. If if it'll nicely hook out, it'll save us, hopefully save us having to take it out. So oh, that is stuck. Okay. Great, so there's every chance that it's damaged that new stanchion as well. Not to worry. Right, I'll get that in the vise, see about getting that seal retainer off, and we'll go from there. Okay, so there we go. It's a little collar, all 3 screws are in there, and unfortunately it has made a bit of a mess of my brand new stanchions. I don't know how well that shows up, it's not looking too visible on there, but yeah, sort of just above my thumb. Yeah, there's a few little gouges like that. So yeah, that's ruined a new set of stanchions, hasn't it? Flipping heck. Right, I'll clean the sharp bits off, it's all I can do. The seal seems to have survived so far. So yeah, I'll clean the sharp bits off as best I can, and maybe put some resin or something in the gouges, fill them in, sand them back, and yeah, not a lot I can do really, is there? We're just going to have to hope it's alright, and then we'll worry about that one. Because I could really do without this thing being off the road at the minute. Not to worry. Right, not quite sure what I'm going to do next. Should really see if there's still some threads in the upper part. See if these screws are happy to go back in. We'll be putting some blooming strong Loctite on them. Let's have a look. So I've just left it sort of hanging. And take that off out of the way. There we go. I'll have to try them, see if they go tight. If they go tight, they're fine. If they don't go tight, they're not fine. That's all I can do really, isn't it? And of course, we're going to check this side, because I don't want that happening again. Right, anyway, onward. Okay, well, there's some positives. The threads in the underside of the bottom yoke for the 3 little screws that hold that plate and the fork shroud on, they're still good. The threads are good, they had simply just shaken out. Well, that's about the only positive at the minute. So I am going to struggle like hell. I've just got the fork seal out. I'm going to struggle like hell to get that bush out, I think, because normally you'd use the fork stanchion as a bit of a slide hammer. Use my H's, slide hammer. Anyway, so yeah, you'd unscrew the cap, take the bolt out the bottom, that one, so you could remove your damping rod and bits, and then simply bang the fork up and down, and the bush that's meant to be on the bottom would knock this bush out. But since that bottom bush is still in the bottom of the forks, I need to come up with a way of getting that out, because that is quite firmly in. Yeah, I don't know, I'll come up with some kind of bodgery, I'm sure. Anyway, so I've flatted back the gouges that I've been putting in that fork, and just got to get some resin to pop in there to fill holes in. Yeah, no, didn't want bodgy stanchions, that's why I bought brand new ones, but these things happen, don't they? Unfortunately. Quite why that circlip's come off, I don't know. Because it was on the correct way round. It seemed to click in nicely. Although that edge isn't, that bottom edge isn't very crisp. I'd expect that to be a nice sharp crisp edge, that bottom one, so the clip can't pop over it, but yeah, it's maybe what the issue was, or is. It just means I'm going to have to be careful with that one. Yeah, because going that way, that's a really nice crisp edge, but this one isn't. So of course that makes it easy for the clip to pop out and come off, which is exactly what's happened. Bugger. Right, anyway, I'll see if I can come up with some way of getting that bush out without killing it. I've killed the seal and the little gasket that sits underneath it, and because I had to sort of lever the thing out. Threads are all okay in here still, luckily. Yeah, I'll come up with something and we'll go from there. Well, it's out. We've marked up a little bit. I'm sure if we dress that with a file, it'll be acceptable again. Let's just check this side. Yeah, threads are all hunky-dory. Yeah, just gotta dress the bush up. Right, let's see if we can't get a little bit out that caused the problem. And hopefully, oh, flip it out. Yeah, it came out. I was a little bit worried there that I'd burned the end on me on my little bar for knocking it out, because it only just went through the hole. But it's come out okay. There we're getting there. Flipping thing. Come on, you. Well, it's stuck in there. I might need another hand. Let's just put you guys down for a minute. Yeah, that's quite stuck like that. And there we go. Just get it dead square. So yeah, that's the bit. That should still be on the fork. And that's what should be holding it on. Yeah, there's not much difference between the edges there. Not normally you'll have one nice crisp edge, that's the one you want, stopping the thing coming off, and then one sort of rolled, but they're both a little bit rolled. This might just be the joys of aftermarket parts. I can't remember where I got the bushes from. No, I got the stanchions from one supplier and then got the bushes and the clips from another. I mean, I could just bang it back together, but it'll there's nothing stopping it doing it again, is there? Right. I need to find some fork seals from somewhere, so I'll go look for some fork seals. Okay, so we have the bush cleaned up so it slides up and down again, which is nice. And I've just taken this circlip and rubbed it on some emery to give it a little bit of an edge, because it was just round both sides. And then I took a little needle file and did a similar thing to that little groove there. I dare say it did have an edge to it until the bloody chromed the thing, and it just rounded it all off. But anyway, yeah, that's now got a little bit more of an edge, so hopefully when I pop that back on there, it will decide it'll stay on this time, rather than my forks falling apart when I want to do something with them. And we've got some resin on that one that's currently setting, and I've made a phone call to see if I can get some fork seals today, but you know, I might be able to, I might not, so we'll soon find out, won't we? Anyway, I'll start getting some things back together. Might even actually fix the problem we started looking at. Yeah, fastening fork shrouds back on. I think I'm going to take the one off that's already on and just yeah, make sure that's okay as well. Right, anyway, onward. Okay, well, that's that one fastened back on. All nice and snug and sort of Loctited on. I say sort of because that tub has started going off. Yeah, the nozzle's clogged. I kept clearing the nozzle and you squeeze a bit more out and just, yeah, it's like paste. There is still some what appears to be good stuff in the bottom, but this will be the last time this tub gets used. And just been to check this one, and I'm glad I did. 2 out of the 3 screws were plenty tight enough, but one of them was just at the point of starting to work loose. So we'd have had the same disaster all over again. So I've now got to sort of get in there, and I'll undo them one at a time so I don't have to take everything off. Nice long screwdriver. Stupidly overpriced because it's got snap-on written on the handle. You know, luckily I bought it, I don't know, 20 years ago I think, before they were not quite as ridiculous as they are now. So, I'll whip these out one at a time, put a dab of almost thread lock on them, pop them back in, and then we'll see about doing something with the forks. Right, onward. Okay, so it took a couple of hours of ringing around. Well, I say ringing around, I didn't. I found someone who had some pretty quick, they just weren't at home. So yeah, managed to find some new fork seals. I just had to wait for them to be available for me to go and pick them up, which of course I now have. So I can get them bashed in the forks. And we'll chuck some oil back in them, pop them back in there, and hopefully it goes nice and straightforward and she's all back together. Right, fork seals. Okay. They're the old ones. New ones are in the bag. There's the bag. Right, I'll get on with that then. Possibly after a cup of tea. Right, onward. Okay, so once again, she's all back together. I have very gently modified the pickup for my push bike speedo, just to make it more closely resemble the angle of the hub, so the magnet's a lot closer to parallel as it passes it. And you never know, that might get rid of its funniness after 57 mile an hour. Well, that's the hope. If that doesn't work, I've got another one kicking about somewhere and we'll just bin it and put a new one on. But there we go. She is all back together again. I've wiped the thick of the muck off, but it just needs a proper clean now. I did take the opportunity while the wheel was out to clean the underside of the mudguard and spray a load of duck oil in there. And then just, you know, the other bits, like back of the headlight bowl, around the headstock, the bits that are awkward to get your hands into. So yeah, it's just the rest of it now. It's absolutely filthy. That needs sorting out. So yeah, what appeared to be a rather minor issue turned out to be quite a big one. Yes. I'm intrigued now as to how many of you are running out to your sheds to check your fork shrouds, because yeah, if that fork stanchion was any worse, that would have needed replacing. You never know, it might still need replacing. Hopefully the little bodge will do it for now, keep it going. But, well, I've got that much faith in it, I've already ordered another set of fork seals. So yeah, we'll see how long it lasts. If it only lasts a week, it was a bodge. If it lasts 2 weeks, it was an engineering solution. And if it lasts a month, well, it's fixed, isn't it? So, yeah, we'll go from there. Anyway, can you hear that clunking? I mean, the slight scraping sounds because I've ovaled the drum slightly, just being, you know, a little bit heavy-handed on the brakes. But because it's got the rim lock there, tie gripper, rim lock, whatever you want to call it, it's always had these on. It's essentially, it's just lead solder, just wrapped around the spokes as a balance weight. And it's reached the point in its life now where it's bits starting to break off it and it rattles around. So yeah, no doubt we'll have to address that at some point. But it's not far off because the wheel does sit there sort of horizontal. Yeah. Anyway, right, I'm waffling, so I'm going to call that quits for this one. Yeah, slightly more dramatic than I intended it to be. Well, was for me anyway. But you know, she's back together, she's back on the road, and if you're still here, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Ta-da! Where's my blooming tea? There it is. Cup of tea.